What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the new Hasbro Marvel Legends X-Men wave with the Build-A-Figure of Nemesis. So we got a lot of cool figures in this wave. So we'll start out with Wolverine from the X-Treme X-Men. So it looks pretty good in the all mostly black with yellow stripes on it. So really cool for that Wolverine. Then we've got the X-Force Nightcrawler, which looks really cool in the gray and black design. Of course, little designs there that he is from the AOA universe, but I'll go into more of that story. And speaking of AOA, we have Gambit as well, which looks pretty cool. The face isn't the best. It kind of looks a little derpy there, but still cool to have the AOA version of Gambit there added to the collection. And then by then we have 4 more figures, and we're going to start off with the X-Force Cyclops, which is cool, from like the first appearance sort of design with the blue outfit with the yellow X on it. So that's really cool. Comes with a nice optic blast design, so really cool for that. Then we've got Marrow, so a nice X-Men character added to the collection, as well as from Generation X we have Husk, so pretty cool. She can tear her face off, ending off with our villain of Fabian, Cortez. So all 7 of these figures look really cool. Now, of course, as I mentioned, we get the Build-A-Figure Nemesis. So as you see, we see like his body there. Of course, we get all the pieces for it. And if we spin around, we can see the Build-A-Figure there, what it's going to look like. So really cool to have Nemesis there as well from the AOA universe, bringing him into the 616 universe. So really excited for all these figures, and I'm excited to check them out. So let me get them all out of the box, build that Nemesis, and we'll check them out together. So we're going to start off with the X-Treme Wolverine. Now the X-Treme X-Men, at least that this one's based off going off the box art that was on it. It was a 5-issue series that ran from 2022 to 2023. That was written by Chris Claremont with art by Salvador Larroca. And it was set after the events of the original X-Treme X-Men, which was from the early 2000s. So once again, getting another Wolverine, so nothing too surprising about that. Just with the X-Treme X-Men, or somewhat looks like the Ultimate X-Men sort of version here, but looks pretty cool. Love with the all black design, but with the yellow like tiger stripes. We get an unmasked head for Logan here. Looks pretty good, so we don't have any mask going on. I always love the mask, but you know, this face at least still does look pretty good there with his hair going out to the spikes. Always love the little like curls in the front. Nice long sideburns there as well. Mouth open yelling. Then like I said, we get the all black outfits. We get the black shirt, black pants. Get the X-Men logo there on his chest. And again, the yellow like tiger stripes there up on his shoulders. We get a bell around the waist with some yellow on it. He has some pockets there, so like a utility belt. Again, black pants, almost like tactical pants, going down into black boots as well. Then we get a little bit of bare arm section. Of course, we get all the hair arms there, so that's pretty cool. Going into the black gloves with his claws coming out with nice claw design there, nice thick claws. So overall, looks pretty cool, but once again, it's just another Wolverine, so it's not that super exciting, but again, just another design in Wolverine. But moon-wise, the head will twist all the way around. It'll look down that far and up that far, so really good range in the head there. You can really get that posed up. Shoulders will come up to 90 with the butterfly back and forth, so really good range, so that far forward and that far back, so really nice there. And we'll rotate around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint. That'll bend up that far at least. We get the wrist, they'll twist around and flex back and forth. Then we go to the ab crunch, so he'll crunch forward and crunch back. So decent crunchy, not far back, but far forward, which I feel is, you know, the proper way. And twist all the way around at the waist. The hips will come up that far, not all the way up to 90. It doesn't seem, which I don't know why it's not going any further. Maybe kind of forced there. Goes out a little to the side to get up to 90 and out to the side that far. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint, that will bend up that far to the back, which isn't bad. And then down to the foot, that'll rock back and forth and twist side to side. So really nice movements there again with this all pinless body, so everything moves nice and smooth. It seems like no issues or anything, so that all works out nice. Now, accessory-wise, the only thing it comes with are some hands, so we get additional sets of hands without the claws, so we get a set of fists, as well as a set, I guess what we call action hands, so this open hand with split-out fingers, as well as a pointing, like, leading hand, again, with no claws in them, so we get those different options. Now, unfortunately, we don't have anything to go with this Wolverine, since this is our first X-Treme X-Men figure, so don't have anything to show with it, but overall, still a nice look for Wolverine. I really like the design and everything, so just a cool one to add to the collection. And next up, we have the X-Force Nightcrawler, which is Kurt Darkholm. Now, he was from the AOA universe, and he grew up with an estranged relationship with his mother, Mystique, and had a scarring experience that made him despise religion. So he would join Magneto's rebel band of mutants, known as the X-Men, to fight Apocalypse's control of the world. But after Apocalypse's defeat and the rise of Weapon X as the new Apocalypse, the X-Force from Earth 616 arrived, and the X-Men helped get the celestial life seed that they needed. And Kurt went back back to Earth 616 to help the X-Force fight their version of Apocalypse, and would stay in that timeline joining their team. So that's what we have here. So he's technically the Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler, just that got brought into the 616 universe, and overall looks pretty cool. Body-wise, it's the exact same body that we got with the new X-Men 97 version, so really nice with the all pinless body there, and of course looks really good in the X-Force colors here, so the black and gray looks really cool. So we get the head there of Nightcrawler, so again, all the blue skin with the yellow eyes, black hair sort of slicked back a little with his pointy ears, and again, love the like blue highlights in the hair there. But as you see, he does have a red marking there on his eye, which again is from the Age of Apocalypse universe, so we can easily take this head and put it onto the other body, which we will do, and it kind of gives you an Age of Apocalypse version of Nightcrawler if you want that as well. But then like I said, we have the body, so it's going to be everything's the exact same layout. So we have black down the center and over to the shoulders, a little X-Men logo there in the red design, which looks cool, and then gray on the spandex body everywhere else. We have the white gloves with black cuffs at the top of them, so again, just switching from red to black. Gray running down the legs to the boots that are now white going into the black as well, and we still get his blue tail sticking out of the back there as well, so a nice little tail. I don't think there's bendy wire or anything. Yeah, it doesn't seem, but just a soft rubbery, so you can like get it bent around and stuff. It just won't stay or hold its position, but really nice design overall for Nightcrawler. Now move-wise, we get that little twist all the way around. Can look down that far and up that far, so again, really good range. Love having hinge joints on the necks there. Shoulders will come up to 90 with a butterfly, so only get that far back and forth, and we'll rotate around. Of course, got to get around the shoulder piece there. Bicep twist and the double elbow joint, which that upper piece was real stiff on him, but can bend up that far, so really nice for that. Get the wrist little twist all the way around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, so he'll crunch forward and crunch back, so nice. Crunching both ways, twist all the way around at the waist. The hips will come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint, that again had a little bit of stiffness to it, but can bend up that far back, pretty much kicking himself in the butt. And down to the foot, that'll rock back and forth and twist side to side. So good movements overall, once again. Overall pretty smooth. Like I said, this elbow joint, the upper one especially, is pretty stiff. So that's always one of the issues we get with the pinless joints, is that there's always some sort of joint stuck or something. But once you get it loose, it works out pretty decently. But looks good overall. Now, accessorized, he does come with some additional hands. So he has two like open hands on him. He comes with a set of fist hands, again with his 3 fingers, which is nice. So a set of fist hand as well as a grip hand. Of course, we always need that grip hand to give him his weapon, which of course is his sword. Now, he's supposed to have a fencing foil. I don't know if that's exactly what this would be. It just looks like almost like a pirate style sword with the wider blade at the top there, but looks good with the black handle, silver blade. So let's put this in his hand. So there's Nightcrawler with his sword, and that looks really cool. As I said, this body's pretty much the exact same body that we got with the X-Men 97, so here is that figure there. So it looks good, and as I said, if we want to take the head off this X-Force version and put it on this other body, it will then pretty much give us the Age of Apocalypse, because he wears this sort of same outfit there. Now, the only real difference I saw with the Age of Apocalypse, he still has like the tattoo on his face, is that his hair was much more longer and like poofier and everything. So there we can kind of pretty much have an Age of Apocalypse version of Nightcrawler if we want now as well. But just having it with this X-Force body in the gray looks really cool. Love, like I said, with the red design tattoo, whatever that is supposed to be there on his eye, looks really cool. And now that we have him, we can add him in with the rest of our X-Force. So there's all of our X-Force so far, where we got Wolverine, X-23, Psylocke, Deadpool, Deathlock, and Phantom X. So that all looks pretty cool. And of course, they've announced that new pack with X-23 and Warpath for X-Force, so we'll be able to add Warpath and update the X-23 there. So very cool addition with Nightcrawler added to our X-Force team. Oh, and I almost forgot, Nightcrawler does also come with an additional head with a mouth open there, so of course that'd look really nice for Nightcrawler as well. Almost forgot that head, didn't see it laying there. And next up, we've got the Age of Apocalypse Gambit, which of course is still Remy LeBeau. Now, he was adopted into the Thieves Guild as a young child and became their best and brightest. But with the rise of Apocalypse, the Thieves Guild leader was made into one of his horsemen. So Gambit fled and helped the X-Men in a fight against Apocalypse Infinite soldiers and saved Magneto's life. So he would end up joining the X-Men, where he fell in love with Rogue, but she chose Magneto over him. And as usual for Gambit's powers, he can biokinetically charge objects to explode and uses a bow staff. So here we've got Gambit, which looks pretty cool. I like the design overall. The only thing I don't like about this figure is the face, because the mouth looks a little too weird and awkward. Like, it reminds me a lot of that Invisible Woman we got that time that had the really weird mouth. That's just what this reminds me of so much. But otherwise, he looks pretty cool. We still get his brown hair sort of poofed up and over to the side, a little bit longer than it seems like normally, especially all the way around. But he has a blue headband in his eyes there. Of course, he has should be like red eyes. Usually they just kind of look all blacked out on this version. And like I said, his mouth just looks a little bit weird there. Then he's got this red like cape sort of hanging off his back, almost like a cloak or something. Just something hanging off his back that has a hood that he can pull up and stuff to help, hide and cover himself up. But then we get his outfit that's mostly all this blue design, mostly from head to toe there, but has brown going down the sleeves, which I love, like the arm designs there going down into the brown gloves. So get those on both sides. Brown belt around the waist with a nice gold buckle, red strap here around his thigh, which thankfully the thigh sort of like catches it there, and you can have it up here higher and it sort of catches as it falls down, and then you have to kind of force it to go down. So at least it's a strap piece that won't fall back and forth. They all kind of stay generally in that area. We get some knee pads on him and some brown boots on his feet, which look pretty cool. I love like the pirate cuffs at the top of him, and even nice like rings and stuff designed on it, so it adds some more detail to him, and overall just has a pretty nice design overall. Like I said, just that face kind of ruins it for me. If it was for this face, I'd probably like this figure a lot more. But move-wise, the head will twist all the way around. Can't look down that far. Of course, his head's hitting the coat there, whatever, and up that far. So not as much range as the other figure's head, but not bad. Shoulders will come up to 90, and it has the butterfly, but can go back and forth. So really good range. Go back pretty far and forward that far. So nice. And rotate around. Get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends up that far. Again, pretty nice. And wrist will twist around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch. So forward crunch and back crunch. Twist at the waist. Hips come up over to 90 out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint bends up that far to the back, which isn't bad, and down to the foot will rock back and forth and twist side to side. So good movements once again, and I've noticed none of them have had shin twists so far, which is kind of weird. Almost all Marvel Legends have shin twists, it seems like, so kind of weird that these have not. And accessory wise, we do get some extra sets of hands, so we get a set of fist hands, so if you want to have that. But he does come with his bow staff at least, so we can put the bow staff into his hand. And the hand he came with also has the finger thing for the cards, but he doesn't come with any cards on this one, so you don't get any cards to put in his hand or anything. But there's at least Gambit there from Age of Apocalypse. Now, of course, as I read through the story, there's a big connection in it with, of course, our leader of the X-Men, of Magneto in the story, as well as Rogue, which, of course, he falls in love with. But, of course, in this storyline, Rogue stays with Magneto instead of going with Gambit, as we usually see. So nice to have those, and nice to add Gambit to that collection as well. And then we've got the X-Factor Cyclops, which X-Factor was a spin-off of the X-Men franchise that was released in 1986, which saw the reunion of the original 5 X-Men, believing that the X-Men have changed and that the original is no longer related to the team, and they wanted to keep up Xavier's original dream alive, and the team formed when Scott discovered that Jean was actually still alive, and he ended up leaving Madeline Pryor and their baby Christopher, so he met back up with Jean, and they formed X-Factor to help mutants by hunting them down and then training the young mutants to use their powers again like Xavier originally did. So he looks pretty cool here, of course, in a nice classic outfit design. So mostly the all blue spandex, but with the big yellow X across his chest. Of course, we've had the version 2 design before. I'll show you that figure, but it looks pretty cool with this. And of course, our newer body. I can't remember what they call it with the figure design, but of course, it's one of his brothers that I can't remember the name of currently, but looks good. Of course, we get the head covering that goes all the way up around his head. Always love when it has that. Got the optic visor there on his face, of course, with a nice red design in the center of it. Then, like I said, mostly the all spandex body, so it's not going to be a nice, smooth outfit to his body. Again, with the big yellow X. I love the yellow there up on his shoulders, yellow gloves, and yellow boots there on his feet. And overall, just looks really nice. You can see the X on the back there as well. So pretty basic body design, but just looks really nice. And like I said, to me, pretty classic for this outfit. But move-wise, the head will twist all the way around. Can look down that far and up that far. So again, good range back in the neck there. Shoulders will come up to 90 with the butterfly, of course, just a little bit back and forth though. And we'll rotate around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint. It bends up all the way on itself there. Wrist will twist all the way around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch. It'll crunch forward, crunch back. So nice crunching. Twist at the waist. Hips up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint, that of course feels real stiff on this. So yeah, real stiff to get that unlocked, and it can come all the way up. Don't kick himself in the butt, so that's really nice. Shin twist at the top of the boot. And the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So again, good movements, but stiffness in some of the joints there, like the elbows and knees, which like I said is pretty more typical for their pinless joints, but it's still a nice design overall for them and just looks really cool. Absolutely love it. Now, accessory-wise, we do get some additional hands. So we get a hand here that's just kind of open hand, and of course the one to press the optic blast, so kind of always need to have that on. So Cyclops can be using his optic blast now, so he's got to have that. And to go along with it, we get a yelling head here, so mouth open yelling, and of course we get the openness there. That will be able to use some accessories, so let's switch that head out. So there's that head, and we get an optic blast to go along with it. So of course we get the blast like we've had before, a little wider spread out here with this design on the end, which looks pretty cool. You can pop it off, so just have this, but of course it kind of looks a little awkward there, but you can attach that piece on to give us a nice big optic blast there. So we can attach this into the head. So there's the optic blast shooting out now. So there is like a ridge design on the bottom here, so you get like these line designs, so it does fit into the bottom. At least that's the way I was able to get it popped in, with the smooth part on the top. So if you don't know exactly how it goes in, so you can have that optic blast shooting out now, but just looks really cool with this design. Like you can just get it posed up whatever, however you want there with the blast. Of course I always hate how it just sort of ends there, which of course it has to, it can't just go on forever, but it's just, I don't know how you like pose it up on a shelf, because then it just looks like it stops. But obviously if we had like a sentinel or something, we could put this against the sentinel's chest or something and have it like he's blasting that. So if those one sentinels ever come in, we can try that on it. But there, just that alone looks really cool. Love that design. Now, as I said, we've had the version 2 of X Factor Cyclops, so here is that. Again, this is the outfit he changed to, pretty much the same, just going to white and blue this time instead of yellow and blue, but they should overall be the same. So I would not be surprised at all if we get an updated version of this using this same body and everything, just giving it in the X Factor colors of the white and blue. But very nice for this Cyclops. And of course we can bring in what I'm going to call our other versions of X Factor characters to have that original team. So there's the X-Men I'm going to use as X Factor so far. So from like that first cover, Beast was still the blue Beast design and wore the blue underwear. So that's nice, using this version of the Bobby Drake Iceman, just because, you know, he just looks like Iceman. And of course this Angel isn't perfect either. He should have more of the X design. And of course they're the same body, like the whatever base bodies. So I won't be surprised at all if they redo this Angel into this X design with the wings and all that, and we get that re-released. And of course they've announced that Jean also, that's going to be coming out for X Factor. So she'll finish off our team. And then we've got Marrow, who is Sarah Nucky. Now, she was a former member of the underground dwelling Morlocks, and when Callisto was injured by Prime Sentinel, she directed Marrow to seek help from the X-Men. So after that, she would attend the Xavier Institute and join the X-Men for a short time while under the mentorship of Wolverine, but she would eventually no longer be on the team after a reorganization of the roster. Now, she has hyper-accelerated metabolism that allows for control of her bone structure, as well as enhanced healing. So she looks pretty cool and looks pretty awesome. Love like the bones especially sticking out on her, like on her back especially. You can see like her spine design and then all these bones sticking out of her. Looks pretty cool. Other than that though, she just looks sort of like a standard female superhero, but looks good. So there we got her face design, which looks nice as always, with her red hair sort of poofed up there and slicked back shorter hair design. Then we get her outfit, so she has this top piece in this blue and green design, which we'll also see there on her legs. But then like I said, we get the bones like sticking out just under her chest, going to the back with those bones. Bare arms until we get to the gloves, so she has blue gloved hands. Then we get the pant design, a little bit of gold there around her waist, but then the blue and green pant design come down, a little bit of bone there at her knees all the way down to the feet with the blue boot design. Just overall looks pretty cool. Love the bones. Like if it wasn't for this bones, this figure would be pretty boring, but with those bones it makes it really cool. But movement-wise, the head will twist all the way around. They'll look down that far. Of course, a little stiffness here and up that far, but good range once again with that hinge. Then we get the shoulders that come up to 90 and will rotate all the way around. Of course, hitting the bones there, so can't get all the way around, I guess. Bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends all the way up on itself there. Really nice. Wrist will twist around and hinge back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch just under her chest, so she'll crunch back and forth there. Again, mostly back, then forward, and then twist all the way around. Then we get the hips that'll come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that'll bend up that far to back. If you force it, can get her to kick herself in the butt. And the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So good movements, once again, especially with the newer female bodies. So we get the double elbows and all that. So that works out really nice. Absolutely love it. For accessories, we do get additional hands. So we get a fist hand and a flat palm hand. So if you want those to pose up. But of course, we want to leave her with her grip hands to give her her bone swords or daggers or knives, whatever you want to call it. So these look really cool. Love the design. I like how it has some like yellowish sort of paint or whatever on the top here to make it dirty. I wish it'd be on both sides just because it doesn't really match too well. But let's put these in her hands. So there's Marrow posed up with those bone knives, and then of course, as I mentioned, she was part of the Morlocks, so here we have Callisto as well to go along with her, so we can kind of start to form out more of a Morlocks group there, which is pretty cool. So overall, nice addition with Marrow. Absolutely love the bone designs and everything that go along with her. And next up, we have Husk, who is Paige Guthrie, the younger sister of Cannonball. After her brother's powers manifested and he joined the New Mutants, she was desperate to develop her own powers. And after venting her anger, she found that she could shed her skin, and she would eventually become a founding member of Generation X, enrolled at the Massachusetts branch of Xavier's school, and was romantically involved with Chamber. And she has the ability to shed her outer layer of skin to reveal a new state underneath that can transform into metal, diamond, granite, wood, rubber, and glass. And the new forms can give her superhuman strength, speed, and flame projection. So she has the ability to rip off her skin, which is kind of crazy, and have a new body form underneath it. So she looks cool here. Of course, we get the same body that we got with Monet, you know, part of the Generation X body design. So that's pretty cool. And then otherwise, she just looks like, you know, a normal girl. So we get the face there. It looks pretty normal, decent, nothing too like out of the ordinary with it. And then she has the longer blonde hair. Of course, with the blonde like this, there's a little bit of like shading design onto it, but like especially come through the camera, it just looks like almost just solid yellow. So there's not a whole lot of detail. So not as interesting with the blonde hair designs when they do it like that, but it doesn't look bad at all. And then, like I said, we get the body, same body we got with Monet before, just this nice like red, I guess it'd be almost like a leather outfit or something. Nice like shoulder pads. We get gauntlets on the arms there. Nice like X logo designs with like all the bulb designs on it. Get the X logo there on chest, on the zipper there up by the neck, and then we get the same sort of like covering designs but on the boots and the shins there with the bulb designs on the side. So it just looks pretty cool. And then, like I said, this like maroonish red color for the rest of the body just looks cool that we saw before. So unfortunately, just pretty much taking the same body, switching out the colors of the hands and head, neck and stuff to get a whole new character. But that's what the cool thing about teams are, is when they're all the same outfit designs, just the different characters wearing them. But moon-wise, we get that'll twist. We'll see how much. Yeah, with the hair, it doesn't really twist, just a little side to side. She look down that far and then up just straight about that far because her head and the back stand on whole range because of her hair. Shoulders will come up to 90 and rotate around within there. Then we get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends all the way up on itself. The wrist will twist all the way around and hinge back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch under her chest, so a little bit of crunchy there, kind of gets more so back and forth a little, and we'll twist all the way around. Then we get the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side, thigh twist around, the double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, and down to the foot. We'll rock back and forth and twist side to side. So not bad overall. Again, I thought there would always be like a shin twist with this, like hiding behind this boot or something, but it doesn't twist around, so no shin twist or anything, unfortunately, which I feel would maybe help because I do have some issues, especially with Monet after being in storage and stuff, getting her to stand a little, but thankfully Husk so far I don't have too many issues with. Now, accessory-wise, she does come with some additional hands, so we get the opposite of what she's got. So we get a fist hand and a claw hand to go with her claw hand and fist hand, which those claw hands may be of use. We get to show some of her powers, so we get a powered up head here. So we have her yelling there, and then you can have some of her skin ripped off to show like a steel form underneath there. So we get a metal design with her hair sort of all flowing in the wind. So let's switch that out. So there we could have her sort of freaking out, ripping her skin off. And speaking of ripping her skin off, we do also get this piece of skin that we can put around. I'm not actually sure which order, like way she's going, but you can kind of do it like she's ripping her skin off. Like I said, I'm not sure exactly how you want to put this up there to make it look like she's ripping her skin, maybe like this or something. So let's put this in her hand. So I can't really get her to hold it onto it. Like that's the best I can get it to stay in her hand, and I can't really get it to look like it's pulling off her face. So I'm not sure how people get it to look like that. But there we can have her sort of pulling off her skin, revealing her powers underneath, which is cool. And of course, now that we have her, we can add her in with the rest of our Generation X members. So there's our Generation X with, of course, her love interest Chamber, same body outfit design as Monet, and then this Jubilee. Of course, the body doesn't match exactly as it should, but that is a part of the design she wore during Generation X. So very nice to start to build out more of our Generation X team. And our final main figure of the wave is Fabian Cortez. Now, he was born to a wealthy and privileged family surrounded by opulence and luxury. His family provided him the best education, opportunities, and comforts money could buy. But as his mutant abilities emerged, he took that as an opportunity to break free from his mundane existence and embarked on a quest for greatness. So he would form the Acolytes, which was a group of mutants that believed in Magneto's teaching and worshipped him. They would join Magneto on Asteroid M until it was revealed that Fabian was actually a member of the Upstarts, which was a group of mutants that are awarded points for killing mutants. And so he would send the asteroid crashing to Earth trying to kill Magneto, but Magneto ended up surviving by being saved by one of the other Acolytes. And for powers, Fabian has the ability to manipulate the powers of other mutants by amplification, siphoning, dampening, and unification. So pretty cool design overall for Fabian, like kind of a weird, unique design to him, but but overall I do like it. So his face there, nice angry face for him, but then he has like this gold like headpiece or whatever that goes around the side of his head and stuff. Not really sure what's going on, but he has a mullet, so short hair on top and long hair there in the back. Of course, fits pretty nice for that. Then he's got this big gold like chest piece here with the shoulder pads on him. Looks pretty cool with the spandex blue outfit underneath. Nice like red V design on there. Bare arms going into the red gloves there on his hands. Again, blue pants continue down to the red boots on his feet. Love those boot designs on him as well. And then he's got a purple cape hanging off the back, so very similar to like Magneto and everything. So looks pretty cool overall for the design. Not like a big character. I've never heard of him before until this, and it doesn't seem like he's that big and involved in the story and everything, but a pretty cool design and very unique. But move wise, his head will twist all the way around. Of course, got to worry about his hair there to get it all the way around, and then he can look down that far and up that far. So again, good movements with the head design. Then to the shoulders, that will come up to 90 there, and has the butterfly joint. I think it's on the body. Vulcan, I think, is who it is. Not sure if this is the Vulcan body. It kind of looks like it, but not sure if it is or not. But it can come up in butterfly and rotate around. Bicep twist, the double elbow joint that bends up that far, which isn't bad. Wrist twist all around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, so crunch forward, crunch back there, so pretty decent crunching. Twist all the way around. The hips will come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that will bend up that far to the back, not far from kicking himself. No shin twist at the top of the boots. Once again, I thought there'd be with that design, but no twist. And the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So not bad overall. Again, I thought there'd be a shin twist on that. I think only one figure this whole wave has had shin twist, which is kind of weird. Like I said, not usual for Marvel Legends, so that's kind of different. But he works out pretty nice as well. Accessory wise, we do get an extra set of hands, so we get like a claw-like hand and a grip hand. Not really sure what to need those for. And then he comes with some power effects. We get some flame effects that we can pop onto his hands. So there's those flame effects on his hands. Now, as I read, it didn't really seem to go with his powers. I'm not sure what they're for. That doesn't mean, I didn't read comics or anything with him, so I'm not sure he probably can do this with his powers, but it seems like he just controls the powers of others, so not really sure how he has the flame effects, but it does look cool. It adds addition to him and stuff, makes him stand out a little bit more with those flame effects. Now, just to go along with him, since he was a part of the Acolytes, followers of Magneto, here we got Magneto, so we can have them together, of course, until he tries to kill Magneto to earn those points. So very cool to add Fabian here. Like I said, not a character I knew much of anything about. Don't really feel like he goes with anything we have, but he is a nice, unique looking X-Men character. And that brings us to our Build-A-Figure of Nemesis, who used to go by the name Holocaust, but Marvel changed the name of it years ago, as you can probably guess. But he's the son of Apocalypse that served as one of his father's horsemen, and Magneto was able to track down Nemesis and destroy his physical body, but he would awaken in Dark Beast's lab and was fitted with armor that could contain him and channel his energies, becoming known as Holocaust again, but Marvel would end up changing that. But during the final battle, he was impaled by a shard of the X-Treme crystal by Nate Gray, and they would be transported to the 616 Earth, and on the transportation it destroyed his armor, but he was trapped in an X-Treme crystal in space until he was founded by the Acolytes and revived, so they were bringing the Acolytes back into it with him. Now he has the ability to absorb light force from other beings and giving it to himself, giving himself superhuman strength, durability, reflexes, flight, and plasma blast while wearing his crystalline armor. So this looks pretty cool. We get this design, so he's, again, based from the Age of Apocalypse universe. So nice that we've had multiple connection with that here, and looks pretty cool. Now this isn't like the coolest design forever, like just because of the colors, with like this bronzish orange dark sort of color, and then the orange running through it. So it looks very more like modern and dirty and everything compared to what I would think with Age of Apocalypse, but still looks pretty cool with the design overall. We see the head in there is just like a skeleton head, and we can take this dome off and access that, so that'll be pretty cool with some flames going around it. But as the big dome there up on his head, some like pipes and stuff coming off the back, so these big connections, which unfortunately putting those in storage will probably get all bent up, so that'll kind of stink, but tubing running around to the front of that. Big shoulder armors again with the orange on top of it, like a metallic orange, and then those lines running throughout the body. The one arm, we have this big like gun design coming out of it, and then the other end just like, he's got 4 fingers, so that's kind of interesting. Then we get some designs in the middle, almost look like abs and stuff, nice like the like tubing like sort of body glove sort of on there. Big thigh pads going down into the boots. He's got 2 toes there on the feet as well. So overall pretty nice with this design. Now, movement-wise, we'll go into do his head. We'll go and take this piece off so that we can get to the skull head. And, of course, it'll twist around, look down, look up. Looks like the mouth opens and closes there, so you can sort of get that sort of adjusted. So nice for that. Then we can put the dome back on, so that sits on there pretty nice. And then we get the shoulders that can come up to 90 there and rotate around. We get the bicep twist. And for this arm, I thought it'd be a single elbow joint, but there is actually two. Now, the bottom one doesn't move very much, probably because, like, the pinless design stuff, it's really hard to get it to bend. So the top one's the thing that bends most, but you get the arm bend up there for that. And then, of course, the other one should be able to get real stiff with that arm, can bend all the way up that far, which is nice. And then, of course, get the wrist, they'll twist around and flex back and forth. Then we go to the ab crunch, so under the chest here, so crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. Then go down to the hips, that'll come up that far, not all the way up to 90, and out to the side. There is a thigh twist there as well, that'll twist around. The double knee joint, that'll bend up that far to the back, not too bad at all. And then, of course, down to the foot, rock back and forth and twist side to side. It's not bad overall for the movements. Another big Build-A-Figure. Usually don't expect too many movements with that, but it does work out, so that's nice. Now, accessories, we do get an extra hand, so if you don't want to have a fist hand, we get this like claw-like hand we can put there on the left, and then we also get a tubing we can connect up, so I wanted to wait till after the movements to get this. So he has this spot here on the back of his bicep that we can attach this on. So you just attach it there, and then you can attach it. So either of these, I assume this is where it goes. There's spots on either side. I'll probably go to the farther one just for the tube design, just to sort of spread it out there. You can attach that on there, but like I said, you can do either one of those and connect it up there, probably to feed the flames into his gun. Now, it'd be cool if we had flame effects that would come out of the end of it, since it has the hole there and everything. So maybe we'll have some old blast effects or something from like Iron Bands or something that'll fit in that, to be flames shooting out of that, because that'll be pretty cool. So overall, looks really nice for Nemesis there. And as I mentioned, he is the son of Apocalypse, so here we have our Age of Apocalypse. So there we can have father and son together, and Nemesis as one of the horsemen for him and everything. So that looks really cool with our father and son there together. And overall, a cool build figure. Like I said, the design, like overall body design, like the colors and stuff, not too crazy about, but it is a cool character. Character I've always heard about with Nemesis. So of course, I always knew him as Holocaust in the past, but looks very nice for this design overall, and a cool character. So there we've got our Marvel Legends X-Men wave with the Build-A-Figure of Nemesis. So we've got a lot of cool figures in this wave of the X-Treme Wolverine, X-Force, Nightcrawler, Age of Apocalypse Gambit, X-Factor, Cyclops, Marrow, Husk, and Fabian Cortez. So really cool characters, nice additions to team, new team starting out, all that sort of good stuff going on here with that nice Build-A-Figure there in the back. So let me know what you thought of all these X-Men characters down in the comments. And if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.